Now that we understand the meaning of ilm or ulum and the Quran, when we put these words together, what is the meaning of ulum al-Quran? We find that some scholars, they say it is mabahithu tata'allaqu bil-Quran al-Kareem من ناحية نزوله وترتيبه وجمعه وكتابته وقراءته وتفسيره وإعجازه وناسخه ومنسوخه ودفع الشبه عنه ونحو ذلك. يعني مباحث تتعلق بالقرآن. It's a long definition. طيب. And what it means is basically مباحث تتعلق بالقرآن. يعني research subjects that are connected to the noble Quran, related to its revelation, its organization, its compilation, related to the Quran, how it was recorded, وقراءته, its recital, as well as its tafsir, its i'jazihi, its miraculousness, وَنَاسِخِهِ, its abrogating, as well as وَمَنْسُخِهِ, abrogated verses, and also وَدَفْعِ الشُّبَهِ عَنْهُ, and defenses against doubts related to the Quran, and more. وَنَحْوِ ذَلِكَ. All of that is considered to be ulum al-Quran. So it's a vast subject. As you can see, it's a long definition mentioned by some of the latter-day scholars. You have other scholars who try to bring a more concise definition, like Abdul Aziz al-Zamzami, rahimahullah ta'ala, in his poem. He said, علم به يبحث عن أحوال كتابنا من جهة الإنزال ونحوه بالخمس والخمسين قد حصرت أنواعه يقينا. He said that is a science, علم به يبحث عن أحوال كتابنا من جهة الإنزال. It is a science that researches the topics of our book, meaning the Quran, from the aspect of revelation, وَنَحْوِهِ, etc., and other topics as well. This is a more concise definition. There's even a more concise definition than this mentioned by Imam as-Suyuti, rahimahullah ta'ala, in his book called An-Nuqaya. He has a section within An-Nuqaya related to ulum al-Tafsir, yani ulum al-Quran, and he said that ilm al-Tafsir, and when he said ilm al-Tafsir here, he means ilm al-Quran, ilm yubhathu fihi an ahwal al-kitab al-aziz. It is a science that researches about different subjects related to the Quran, related to the book. Right? So I think this is the most concise definition of what's intended by ulum al-Quran. And I would just like to highlight, ikhwani wa akhawat, that early on when you read works written by the people of knowledge, they use the terms usul al-tafsir and ulum al-Quran, they use it interchangeably. Okay? They're synonyms to one another. And this is why you'll find many books, they use the word usul al-tafsir, but the intent was what's known today as ulum al-Quran. طيب? For example, the work we just referenced by Imam as-Suyuti in his Nuqaya. This Nuqaya is a compilation of 14 different sciences. Among the sciences he spoke about in that book is usul al-tafsir. However, when you read it, you open it and you study it, you realize that what he's referencing, rahimahullah, Imam al-Suyuti, is ulum al-Quran. Ulum al-Quran. Okay, so we have a couple terms that we've heard so far. We heard usul al-tafsir. We heard ulum al-Quran. I'm sure you all heard of the term tafsir, Qawaid al-Tafsir. What is the difference between these different terms, different terminologies? We have tafsir, usul al-Tafsir, Qawaid al-Tafsir, ulum al-Quran. This is what we're going to talk about right now. The differences between each of these terms. Tafsir, to break it down simply, as mentioned by Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah ta'ala, the meaning of tafsir is kashfu ma'ani al-Quran. It is to reveal the meanings of the Quran. That tafsir, the essence of tafsir, is for you to understand what is the meaning of this word. What is the meaning of this ayah? What is the meaning of this chapter? This is tafsir of the Quran. طيب? As for usul al-tafsir, then these are foundations, principles that will assist you in understanding the intent or meanings of Allah's speech. Right? It's similar to fiqh and usul al-fiqh. It's similar to what? Fiqh and usul al-fiqh. Fiqh is like tafsir. Right? What is the fiqh of this issue? Tafsir is what is the meaning of this ayah, of this word. طيب. While Usul Tafsir gives you foundations that helps you to understand or obtain the correct method in understanding the intent or meaning of Allah's speech. Usul al-Fiqh gives you the principles, the Qawaid, the foundations to help you in understanding fiqh in its proper context. طيب. Tamam. Everyone with me so far? Is that clear? The difference between Tafsir and Usul al-Tafsir? Then we have the term Qawaid al-Tafsir. Qawaid al-Tafsir. Now, Qawaid al-Tafsir, ikhwani wa akhawat, this is overall principles found in the Quran. Okay? So this is the study, like you find it, the ulama, the mufassirun, they read the Quran, they studied it, naam, and they derived principles that they noticed were apparent and common throughout the Quran. So they extracted that, طيب, and they named it and they entitled it Qawaid al-Tafsir, overall principles found in the Quran. For example, there's a qaida tafsiriyah that states عطف العام على الخاص يدل على التعميم وعلى أهمية الأول, which means that عطف العام على الخاص, when you mention something specific and then you mention something general after it, which that specific thing is a part of. Give you an example. وبالمثال يتضح المقال, as they say. For example, the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَإِن تَظَاهَرَ عَلَيْهِ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ مَوْلَاهُ وَجِبْرِيلُ وَصَالِحُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ ظَهِيرٌ. In Surah Tahrim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking in the context of the wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam radiallahu anhunna. But if you continue to collaborate against him, then know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ مَوْلَاهُ, Allah himself is his guardian, the guardian of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَجِبْرِيلُ وَصَالِحُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and the righteous believers. And then look at what Allah mentions again, وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ ظَهِيرٌ, and the angels. So we see that Allah singled out Jibreel and then mentions al-malaika after him. This is done so as to highlight Jibreel alayhi salam and his status. So the mufassirun, they find that this is reoccurring throughout the Quran. You find different examples of how something is mentioned to highlight that single entity, to highlight Jibreel alayhi salam, for example, in this instance. So this is known as Qaida Tafsiriyah or Qawaid al-Tafsir, overall principles found in the Quran. As for Ulum Quran, ikhwani wa akhawat, then this is a more vast science. And Usul al-Tafsir in general and Qawaid al-Tafsir in general falls under Ulum Quran. They're branches of Ulum Quran. But the major difference between Ulum Quran and Tafsir is that anything not related to the meanings of the verses is considered to be Ulum al-Quran. Anything not related to the meanings of verses, okay, Kashf al-Ma'ani al-Quran, then that's considered to be what? Ulum al-Quran. So, for example, we'll study inshallah ta'ala the names of the surah. What are the names that have been mentioned in the Quran wa Sunnah regarding Surah Al-Fatiha, right? This is from Ulum al-Quran. Al-Kafiyah, for example, Al-Shafiyah. The categorization of surah is a chapter, a Mekki chapter, or a Medini chapter. This has no relation, no connection to the tafsir of the verses. Therefore, it's considered to be what? Ulum al-Quran, Jam' al-Quran, compilation of the Quran and its stages. No relation to the meanings of the verses. Therefore, it's considered to be what? Ulum al-Quran. Everyone with me so far? So the major difference between Ulum al-Quran, okay, and Tafsir is that Ulum al-Quran is anything not related to the meanings of the verses. And what falls under it are Usul al-Tafsir and Qawaid al-Tafsir. These are branches from Ulum al-Quran.